Good day everyone, I'm Simon Bagon from BSHM 3B, and today I'm going to report about environmental laws and issues on hospitality and tourism. The content of these reports are environmental laws such as Republic Act of the Philippines. Number 2, issues regarding negative impact of hospitality industry and environment. Number 3, issues regarding negative impact of tourism industry in environment. The objectives of this report are delivery, to deliver facts regarding environmental issues and laws. Target, for audiences to understand the different environmental issues and laws. Growth, to make the knowledge of audiences to grow more about this topic. The first topic is environmental laws such as Republic Act of the Philippines. The first law is Republic Act 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. This law aims to adopt a systematic, comprehensive, and ecological solid waste management program that shall ensure the protection of public health and environment. The law ensures proper segregation, collection, storage, treatment, and disposal of solid waste through the formulation and adoption of best eco-waste products. The second law, Republic Act 9275, Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. The law aims to protect the country's water bodies from pollution, land-based sources, industries, and commercial establishment, agricultural, and community household activities. It provides for a comprehensive and integrated strategy to prevent and minimize pollution through a multi-sectoral and participatory approach involving all the stakeholders. The third law, Republic Act 8749, Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. This law aims to achieve and maintain clear air that meets the national air quality guidelines, values for criteria pollutants through the Philippines, while minimizing the possible associated impacts to the economy. The fourth law, Republic Act 6969, Toxic Substances, Hazardous and Nuclear Waste Control Act of 1990. The law aims to regulate, restrict, or prohibit the importation, manufacturers, processing, sale, distribution, use, and disposal of chemical substances and mixture that present unreasonable risk to human health. It likewise prohibits the entry, even in transit, of hazardous and nuclear waste and their disposal in the Philippine territorial limits for whatever purpose, and to provide advancement and facilitate research and studies on toxic chemical. The last and fifth law, Presidential Decree 1586, Environmental Impact Statement of 1978. The Environment Impact Assessment System was formally established in 1978 with the enactment of Presidential Decree 1586 to facilitate the attainment and maintenance of rational and orderly balance between socio-economic development and environmental protection. EAI is planning and management tool that will help the government, decision makers, the proponents, and the affected communities address the negative consequences or risk on the environment. The process assures implementation of environment-friendly projects. For my second topic, issues regarding negative impact of hospitality industry in the environment. The first issue, water usage. This is big one. Many resorts and hotels have a lot of water waste from long guest shower and huge pools. In the restaurant, they use water for dishes, and often the machines are not efficient at saving water. Energy usage. This impacts all organizations in the hospitality industry. This This includes the electricity of restaurants, hotels, and resorts, as well as the gas used by tourism, ski resorts, and more. Food waste. Oftentimes, food are not reusable and are then thrown away. This creates problem for the environment, both in the action of throwing out the food and the demand places on the environment to produce more. Pollution. This is an issue anytime there are high outputs of oil, natural gas, gasoline, or coal. Whether these are used for energy or they are used for transportation, the amount of pollution caused by organizations in hospitality can be a big problem. Garbage waste. This becomes important because items that are not recyclable will eventually plug up to the environment and create trash. Anything from cups to the way a company prints agendas and maps can either increase or decrease the trash produced, which can litter the environment. All of these issues have become important in all facets of the hospitality industry. For my third topic, this is all about the issues regarding the negative impacts of tourism industry in the environment. Negative environmental impacts of tourism occur when the level of visitors use is greater than the environment's ability to cope with this use. Uncontrolled conventional tourism poses potential threats to many natural areas around the world. It can put enormous pressure on an area and lead to impacts such as soil erosion, increased pollution, discharges in the sea, natural habitat loss, increased pressure on endangered species, and heightened vulnerability to the forest fire. It often puts a strain on the water resources, and it can force local population to compete for the use of critical resources. Depletion of natural resources. Tourism development can put pressure on natural resources when it increases consumption in areas where resources are already scarce. Some of the most common noted examples include using up water resources, land degradation, and the depletion of other local resources. Water resources. The tourism industry generally overuses water resources for hotels, swimming pools, golf courses, and personal use of water by tourists. This can result in water shortage and degradation of water supplies, as well as generating a greater volume of wastewater. In drier regions like the Mediterranean, the issue of water scarcity is of particular concern because of the hot climate and the tendency for tourists to consume more water when on holiday than they do at home. The amount used can run up to 440 liters a day. This is almost double what the inhabitants of an average Spanish city use. Land degradation. Important land resources includes fertile soil, forest, wetlands, and wildlife. And unfortunately, tourism often contributes to the degradation of said resources. Increased construction of tourism facilities has increased the pressure on these resources on scenic landscapes. Animals are often displaced when their homes are destroyed or when they are disturbed by noise. This may result in increased animal deaths, for example, roadkill deaths. It may also contribute to changes in behavior. Animals may become a nuisance by entering areas that they wouldn't usually go into, such as people's home. It may also contribute towards aggressive behavior when animals try to protect their young or savage for food that has become scarce as a result of tourism development. Picturesque landscapes are often destroyed by tourism, whilst many destinations nowadays have limits and restrictions on what development can occur in what style. Many do not impose any such rules. High-rise hotels and buildings which are not in character with the surrounding architecture or landscape contributes to a lack of aesthetic appeal. Forests often suffer negative impacts of tourism in the form of deforestation caused by fuel, wood collection, and land clearing. For example, one trekking tourist in Nepal can use 4 to 5 kilograms of wood a day. There are also many cases of erosion whereby tourists may trek the same path or ski the same slope so frequently that it erodes the natural landscape. Sites such as Machu Picchu have been forced to introduce restriction of tourist numbers to limit the damage caused. Local resources. Tourism can create great pressure on local resources like energy, food, and other raw materials that may already be in short supply. Greater extraction and transport of these resources exacerbates the physical impacts associated with their exploitation. Because of the seasonal character of the industry, many destinations have 10 times more inhabitants in the high season as in the low season. A high demand is placed upon these resources to meet the high expectations tourists often have. This can put significant pressure on the local resources and infrastructure, often resulting in the local people going without in order to feed the tourism industry. Pollution. Tourism can cause the same forms of pollution as any other industry. Air emissions, noise pollution, solid waste and littering, sewage oil and chemicals. This tourism industry also contributes to form of architectural visual pollution. One example is air pollution and noise. Transport by air, road, and rail is continuously increasing in response to the rising number of tourists and their greater mobility. In fact, tourism accounts for more than 60% of all air travel. Air pollution from tourist transportation has impact on global level, especially from carbon emissions related to the transportation energy use. This can contribute to severe local air pollution. It also contributes towards climate change. The last negative impact is solid waste and littering. In areas with high concentration of tourist activities and appealing natural attraction, waste disposal is a serious problem, contributing significantly to the environment impacts of tourism. Improper waste disposal can be a major despoiler of natural environment. Rivers, scenic areas, and roadsides are areas that are commonly found littered with waste, ranging from plastic bottles to sewage. Solid waste and littering can degrade the physical appearance of the water and shoreline and cause the death of marine animals. Just take a look at the image below. This is a picture taken of the insides of dead bird. Birds often mistake floating plastic for fish and eat it. They cannot digest plastic, so once their stomach becomes full, they starve to death. This is all about one sad example of environmental impact of tourism. And that's all for my report. I hope you learned something about my topic. Thank you so much.